Hi guys, it's your girl Joy Itohan and welcome to this channel. Thank you so much for stopping by once again. Oh my god, I am so excited to be here. If you are new here, you're so welcome. I am happy you're stopping by and I hope you get to learn one or two while watching this video. And please don't forget to click on the subscribe button and also the bell icon so you don't miss any of my videos. And if you're not new, you're a returning subscriber, I love you guys so much. You guys are the real OGs. Thank you so much for stopping by, okay? So in today's video, I just want to share you like tips on how to get accommodation a bit easily in the UK. Like it's no news that the UK is currently experiencing home crisis, which means they are kind of inviting a lot of people, but the houses on ground are not enough. And they are also not building a lot of houses to accommodate these new people that are coming. So it's quite hard for immigrants coming into the UK to get accommodation. My tips are going to be divided into two, one for students, okay, and one for probably students coming in with family or just immigrants coming in with families. That's their spouse and their kids in general. If you're watching this video, I want to guess you guys have gone back to watch like my past videos when I left Nigeria to come into the UK, and I came with my husband. My husband is a student and I am the dependent. Getting accommodation is quite hard, I'm not going to lie, but I have gone through that journey and right now I am in my permanent apartment. And I during that process we made some mistakes, and we got exposed to things that I would like to share with you guys in this video. So when you come here, you won't be that shocked and surprised, and at least you saw it coming and you would know the steps to take. Okay, so guys, the first tip I'm going to be sharing are for students, single students coming in alone to the UK. I have a very good news for you. We have a sponsor for this video, which is Amber Student. Thank you so much, Amber Student Home, for sponsoring this video. So guys, if you're thinking of coming into the UK as a student, probably later this year, maybe September or January, or if you are already even in the UK and you want to maybe switch up your accommodation, you're looking for a better accommodation, somewhere for you to stay, guys, you can try Amber Student. So Amber Student is a stress-free accommodation platform, guys. They have a website and I'm not sure if they have an app. 90% of landlords here in the UK do not want to give their accommodation out to students because why? Students are not able to work full-time here in the UK. They're only able to work 20 hours. In terms of finances, they're a bit limited, and landlords here in the UK don't want to take that risk. But one good thing with Amber Student Home is you can book for accommodation, get a space for yourself even before you even enter the UK from your home country, maybe Nigeria or wherever country you are actually based in. You can book your accommodation, pay for your accommodation even before you come into the UK. Guys, like it is almost impossible to get an accommodation from your home country in the UK before you moving in, only except if maybe you already have someone here in the UK that can help you view, help you with your documentation. But before coming into the UK, getting accommodation is very hard, and I do not want you guys to go through that stress. And the moment you're coming into the UK, you're just going from the airport to your house or to your apartment, okay? So it is a very stress-free process, and also depending on your budget, you can choose to get an en-suite apartment, you can choose to get probably a studio apartment, or even if your budget is not that much, you can actually choose to get like a shared apartment, which in my opinion, that's the best because you're coming here alone, and if you don't know, here can be quite lonely for single people. So I would advise you to go with a shared apartment, okay? But if you feel you love your personal space and you want to be alone, depending on your budget and also your taste, you can choose to go for the en-suite or a studio apartment. Okay, so guys, another thing I love about Amber Student Home is the security that comes with it. They provide accommodation that is very secured. Like I have seen student accommodation that are under Amber Students Home. And when I say you can't even enter without a key card, that is how secure that place is. Most of them are within a reasonable distance away from your school, so you don't have to, travel that far to get to school. I love the security generally. Let's say probably something happened, maybe your visa wasn't approved, God forbid, that will not happen to you in Jesus' name. Let's say your visa was not approved and you've already booked an accommodation with them, guys. They are willing to give you 100% refund. 100% refund. You cannot find that anywhere. Okay, just reach out to them, tell them that you won't be able to go forward with this, and you will get your 100% refund. So guys, to enjoy all these mouth-watering benefits I just brought up to you guys, I have my link from Amber Students Home in the description below. Please click on the description box. You will see it boldly there. My link would be there, and if you click it, you would see my dashboard. You would also see a form asking for your name, your country, and other informations like that. Fill that, and when you do, you will get a response from Amber Student Home under an hour. You will be prioritized and you will get a personal assistant that will help you through the whole process until you land your accommodation. Okay, if you're a single student, don't say I did not help you. I have helped you. So guys, the second tip I'm going to be sharing are for people coming into the UK with families. Okay, so this one, it choke. It choke very well, because I don't know if you guys have watched my past videos. You would see the struggle it was for us to get an apartment. And guys, I and my partner don't even have kids yet, and it was that stressful. We were in an Airbnb for about 3 weeks. 3 weeks before we could get this apartment. So guys, it is that stressful, and it is even more stressful for people that have children. Because why? I really don't understand why here in the UK landlords really don't like giving their apartments to families with children. Okay, I don't know why. Maybe it's because of, I really don't know why. Like, what do you want them to do? Should they swallow their children? Maybe the destruction that comes with children, or the noise or something. I really don't know why they really don't like when they hear you have a kid. They will just, close your application and they won't even get back to you. So, but I would share tips on how to just make everything less stressful for you. Okay, so the first tip I'm going to be sharing is that, this one is optional. You can choose to do it, you can choose not to. But if possible, if you and your partner can talk about it and have a clear head about it, let the main applicant come first. Yes, I know this one is going to be quite hard, because it's going to cause like a separation for a while between the families, which, it feels somehow, honestly. So it's easier for a single person to get the accommodation. Okay, once they see that, okay, you're a single person, and you tell them that, oh, you don't have children, even though that's a bobo. If you tell them you don't have children, it's easier to get the apartment, okay, compared to having your children, them seeing your children and them like, no, they don't want to give you this accommodation. So if possible, if you can do it, fine. If you can't, it's also fine. Do what works for you. I would advise, if you know you have like really small children, like maybe under 5, children don't care whether you just move into the UK or you're struggling. You must meet to their needs. Okay, you must give them food when they need to get food. You must be there for them when they need their mom or their dad. Okay, so it can be quite hard taking care of little children, and also, being in an Airbnb and also hunting a crab. It can be quite stressful. Okay, so if possible, if you can do that, let the main applicant come first. Okay, you guys can apply for your visa at the same time, it's fine. When you get your visa, on your visa, you would see that you have 3 months to come into the UK. So that's like more than enough time. Okay, so if possible, let the main applicant come first. If you have little children that can't fend for themselves, another tip I would give you is, let the dependent or dependents do the house hunting. Okay, if you are a student, I will not advise you to do the house hunting because most landlords here in the UK do not like to give their houses to students, and especially them saying again that you are a student with a partner and children. That's a no-no. They will not even open your application. So if you're a student coming into the UK with your family at the same time, I would say let the dependent or the dependent look for the house. Okay. In my case, my husband is a student and I am the dependent. So I was the one doing the house hunting. I was the one applying for accommodation. So it's easier that way because the dependent is eligible to work 40 hours and more. So even though you don't even have a job yet, it's fine. When you're looking for the accommodation, you can just tell them, oh, I just came into the UK, so I don't have a job yet, but I have been applying for jobs and I have also done some interviews. They would understand that you're a new immigrant. And yeah, so let the dependents look for the house. Okay, so guys, the next tip I want to share, if possible, while the dependent is looking for the house, if possible, if you were not asked, you don't need to mention that your partner is a student, because somehow they still don't like it when maybe, even though two people will be living in there, they don't like to hear that one of the people that will be staying there is a student. Well, if you were not asked, don't mention that your partner is a student. Just say you're a dependent and you're eligible to work 40 hours a week. Even though you don't have a job yet, just tell them that you've done some interviews and you're still waiting for their response and you're positive that you will get one, and your partner will be working part-time. That is better than saying, oh, I want to get a house but I don't have a job. Anybody hearing that will or any landlord hearing that will not want to consider you. But when you let them know that you're actively applying for a job and you are also, you've also done some interviews and are waiting for responses from the company, that would encourage them to consider your case. So that is it about that. The next one I just want to talk about is, although I've heard some people talk about this one, but I don't want to say lie, but just be smart. I've heard of some families that say they did not mention that they had kids while they were, looking for a house. Tell them that I've heard of some people that worked for them and they were able to get an accommodation, and immediately they secured that space, paid for it, do all the paperwork, they brought their children in. Okay. And the next one I also have is for you to know the size of your family. If let's say you're a family of three, that's you, your partner, and your child, you will be forced to get a two-bedroom flat. Like, that's the law around here. You need to get a two-bedroom flat, and that's one bedroom for you and your husband, and the other bedroom for your child. Okay, so it's not like, oh, the way we used to do in Nigeria, we'll manage. No manage over here. Oh. So you need to, before coming, you need to put in mind the size of your family, so you can, at least regulate your budget and know how much you will be spending on an apartment here. Okay, so if you're a family of four, you have to get a three-bedroom flat. That's you, your partner, and two children. Let's say you have like two children, a boy and a girl. If they are both the same sex, that's fine. They can still stay in the same room. But if it's a boy and a girl, and let's say the boy is like over 5 years old, the boy will need his own room, and he cannot share a room with maybe his younger sister also. So you need to put in factor the size of your family. Just have that in mind so that when you come here and they start telling you that, you don't, act shocked, because that is how it's done over here. Okay, so let me just run you through the process on how you can get a house. So when you get here, or before you come here, but I would advise you get here first. By then you would have gotten, a UK SIM card, because I would advise you call the agent straight than for you to send them emails, because it takes time for them to reply their emails, and before you get a house, it can be quite difficult. You can go on Rightmove, Zoopla, Open Rent. There are so many accommodation sites over here The ones I can't remember, I will also put them on the screen. Okay. So where we got this apartment, we got it on Open Rent, and Open Rent is a platform where you can directly communicate with the landlord. Okay. There is no agent involved. It's just the landlord putting up his house himself on that platform. So you can also consider that one, because at least that one you can talk to the landlord yourself. On Rightmove, it's mostly agents that upload accommodation on there, same with Zoopla. But you can just check various platforms. When you see an accommodation you like on any of those platforms, you would also see the number of the agency. Okay, so you can just place a phone call to the agent, tell them that, oh, that you want to view this apartment, because you have to view the apartment before you can be considered to to apply for the apartment. Okay, so you call them straight, tell them you want to view the apartment, and they would ask you a series of questions. If you have children, if you smoke, if you have pets. When you give them your answers, if you qualify, they will book you a date for viewing. Okay, so when they book you a date for viewing, on that day, they would also give you, when you book the date for viewing, they would also send you the address of that apartment. So on the day of your viewing, you go to that address. Please make sure you go there early, because you're not the only one they're waiting for. Okay, when you get there, you might see like 20 people viewing that apartment at the same time with you. So when you get there and they give you like an appointed time, make sure you get there early. You would view the apartment. When you view the apartment, then you will be able to apply for the house. Okay, so when you apply for the house, that is where the waiting starts, and you need to start praying that the landlord considers your application. But most times, because of the accommodation crisis and all, you need to prove more. Okay, you need to give them a good offer. So if it's possible, if you don't have anybody here in the UK, I would advise for you to have at least 6 months of your house rent. Okay, have at least 6 months, because when you tell them, okay, I have like 6 months, I'm willing to pay 6 months, that's a good offer, and any landlord will want to jump on that. Okay, because yeah, you'll be collecting 6 months of the rent at the same time. Okay, so either that, or you can tell them that you have a guarantor. So a guarantor is someone that, okay, you are new in the UK, they need extra proof. You don't have any credit score, you don't have a bank account here, you don't have anything to prove that yes, you can actually afford this apartment. So you can actually provide a guarantor. So a guarantor can be someone that have been here in the UK for like over a year, and the person also have been working here in the UK for over a year, and the person also has like a very good job. So you can tell them that you have a guarantor, since you don't have a job or anything to prove. If you tell them that, they would consider that, and you can submit your guarantor. If not, if you don't have anybody here, like us in our case, we did not really have anyone here in the UK. Most people we know here are also people that also came into the UK recently. So we we did not go through that guarantor route. But if you know someone that can stand in for you, reach out to that person and just explain to the person, and yeah, you can present that person to the agent or the landlord. Okay. So but if you don't have anyone, I would advise, as a backup plan, I pray you get an apartment easily, but as a backup plan, they would ask you to provide 6 months of the rent if you really need to stay in that place. So if fortunately you were able to get the place, they will tell you to provide some documents. And also guys, you can also tell them that you have savings. So if you have savings from back home, tell them you have savings. You don't have to tell them in naira. Your savings, just convert it in pounds and just give it to them. Tell them, even though you don't have a job yet, you have this savings. Okay, and if the savings is also like more than enough to cover 6 months, that's fine. They would also jump at that offer. Okay, so most times, if fortunately you get picked, they accept you, they would ask you to provide your documents, your international passport, your BRP, and some other documents, your proof of maybe proof of savings. And also, if the apartment was on the market, that means if it was on the website and you saw it on the website, you will have to pay like a holding fee. We did not have to pay a holding fee because I don't know if you watch our vlog, I mentioned that this house was not even on the market at all. So we did not have to pay a holding fee. We only paid a tenant deposit, and a tenant deposit is like, in Nigeria, it's like caution fee, okay? The money that the landlord would hold in case maybe the moment you leave this house, or the period you want to leave this house, they will check the house, and if there is anything that is probably bad, they would use that money to, renovate that place. But if they check everywhere and they see everything is still in perfect condition and you did not destroy anything, they will give you back your money. Okay, so that is what tenant deposit is. Holding fee is when, if they consider your application, they would tell you to pay a holding fee. It can be like a week rent of that apartment. They will tell you to pay that so that they can remove the apartment from the market. So they will remove the apartment from that website, okay? And that would normally take like 1 week, because they will use that 1 week to, collect your documents, confirm your references, confirm your guarantor, and some other things. Okay, so and that process normally take like 1 week. We did not have to go through that. We only paid the tenancy deposit, and we were given, the house, and told to also pay 6 months of the rent. So yeah, that's it about that. As I've said earlier, you can check open rent. Open rent is a bit easier to get a house because you don't have to, be in like a queue, you understand, and you would have the opportunity to, really explain yourself to the landlord. Okay, so you can check out open rent. I'll put all the, website and everything in the description box. You can check that out. And yes, that is it, guys. Those are the tips I have to share so far. If you have any question, anything bothering you, just let me know in the comment section. I really, really try my best to reply all the questions down there. Drop them there in the comment section. As I've said earlier, this video was sponsored by Amber Student Homes, and if you're a single student looking for accommodation, please reach out to them. My link is in the description box. Once again, don't forget, if you need more clarification, reach out to me and I would help you. Okay, and if you're coming in with family, it's fine, don't worry. You won't be homeless forever, okay? You might just experience some inconvenience for like a short while, and you will definitely have a place to call home one day here in this country, okay? So thank you so much for listening to me so far. If you have any questions, drop them in the comment section, as I've said earlier, and I'll be more than happy to reply you. And until then, see you guys in my next video, guys. Thank you so much for watching so far. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe and click on the bell notification, and also like this video if you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.